It's like a breath of fresh air, ain't it? I ain't on envy, I'm war ready. A young homie, work hard and play harder. That's why I snore heavy. How we doing, everybody? We are officially live. Thank you guys for joining us on the 5th edition of Lionheart Live Talk. I'm pleased to have y'all, and I'm excited to introduce the next upcoming guest. He's a bold, creative, just an incredible lyricist, good artist. I actually met him in Austin, or in Dallas, Texas. He's from Austin, Texas, through Grind Mode Cypher. And in a few moments, gonna have him join us. His name is Knowsis. I think you pronounce it Knowsis. But yeah, Jay Jones, man, a good friend of mine, cool dude. I think he's on. Yep, there we go.
What's up? What's up,
What's up,
dude?
man? So honestly, man, I really appreciate you jumping on here. I think you're an incredible artist. You're a solid dude. Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about yourself, where you're from, and we'll go from there.
Man, y'all already know who it is. It's Knowsis, and you know this, aka that's him, officer, aka I'm sorry, sir, your card didn't go through. But mainly, dude, I go by Daddy because outside of this whole rap game, dude, I'm 24/7 about my kids.
Man, that's what's up. I respect that. I think that more people need to follow that. I love that the person that you are, being a father, being a man that handles his business, it comes through in your music, and I think it's a great segue to talk about your track, White Rose. I've been bumping it all day. I showed my wife the track earlier, and we were just vibing to the vibe of the track is crazy. But first, when you come in, bro, I can feel your passion. Can you tell us about that song? Kind of how you put it together?
Man, dude, I ain't gonna lie to you. Believe it or not, that song does not have a lot of views, and I'm actually kind of glad about it. I made it for my daughter's birthday, actually. And
Hey, okay, happy birthday.
yeah,
Happy belated.
yeah, I made it last year for her birthday, and it was right after getting out of not out of it, but the grind mode cipher circuit. I was kind of taking a break for a minute, and I was sitting there trying to figure out. I'm like, what can I do, to keep this going? And I'm like, what do I do to still be who I am, as an artist and as a person? So my main thing was, I was like, well, shit, my baby's birthday's coming up, and I'm like, what better way than to tell my baby that or anybody, how it is. If we got to say something, we immortalize it. We put it on wax, and it's there.
I love that. I love that, man. It's crazy because you could afterwards, I'm going to talk to her about it. But I always tell my wife for years now, it's like, bro, is being an artist the best thing in the world? Is you can like literally immortalize yourself, because a lot of people, you know what I mean? With art, we can create something that will never fade. It will always be out there. People can always 10, 20 years from now, and that'll tell our story. So that's what's up.
That's exactly what it is, my dude. Like, we're not. Believe me, I promise you, I do want to make the Forbes list. Don't get me twisted. But the thing is, I would rather know that my kids saw me doing everything that we do, and we undone some crazy stuff in this short amount of time, dude. Just on some Dr. Seuss shit, just rhyming. And the crazy thing is, I've gotten features that I haven't even dropped yet. I got a feature with Kevin Gates. We still haven't dropped that track yet, because it's not so much of the fact of that we did it, it's who we did it for. And a lot of people, shout out to everybody that don't put in their time, but just our mentality, how we work, it's on some Rock Lee shit. We believe that hard work beats natural talent all day. And just the fact that even outside of the song just being for her birthday, I still had to think about how it could reach after that, because you get one birthday.
Yeah.
But the thing is, my kids are separate houses, so when I'm not with my kids, I at least give them something you can take with me. I'm in your iPod all day. My kids will call me in the morning before they get on the bus. I hear the song in the background, and that kind of gives me comfort, because I know that no matter what, I could leave on a dime tonight and you still got me somewhere. And so, like, even right now, dude, I'm planning my kids. Literally, I told them that I was doing this interview tonight, and I was telling them about it, and my other kids were like, "Go over there, look." My other kids were like, you know, that's not fair. I want my own song. Well, you got it. You know, that's the thing. It doesn't bother me to do that because it's, at least I know I can write something real. I know what I put into it. It's real. I don't have to worry about tone. I don't have to worry about emotion. You know, all of that. It's there naturally. And you know that just the fact that that song took off the way it did personally on YouTube, it has nothing. But just the fact that I know so many people have it in their playlist, like I still get messages about it, and that lets me know too that people still want to hear real stuff.
Yeah,
And
man, and I respect that. I think that, like you said, you're going to try to create, something memorable. We don't have, the most time in the world. You spend a lot of your time dividing yourself, wearing many hats as indie artists and as family
yeah,
men. We have kids. My kids here too. You can hear them, in the background. We do this thing 24/7 for our families to
yeah.
engrave something for our families. So when we're not here, they're gonna be able to eat and do something with it. So, yeah, man, I really look up to that for real, man. For real.
And you know, shout out to Quentin. You know, he's always been there for me to drop just nasty beats. You know, he's helped me with learning how to write because not gonna lie to you, boss. This is just something that I get when I get inspired by something and I want to do it, I'll do it. But just watching cypher, honestly, grind mode got me into it. I started watching it and I'm like, yo, I was like, I think I can do this.
Shout
And
out Grand Mode.
yeah, shout out grind mode, shout out Lingo. You know we love you, boy. And just the fact that I was given a chance and not even knowing what I was doing, that let me know that, and the response that I got from it, bro. I didn't even okay. The cipher that we just did, when I heard your voice, I was like, yo, he's got a voice, that was hooked. And then all of a sudden, I was like, oh shit, he can flow. But remember when we went to when we were filming that night, besides all of us getting tipsy, when I first saw you, I was like, that's not him. I was like, that's no way that's him. And you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it was always one of those things where outside of music, it was always so surprising and fun to see what voice was on the track. What mind came up with something.
Matching the voice with it's almost like, bro, I see you're a big fan of anime, and I think that's
Yeah,
funny as how, like, we have a lot in common, man. And
yeah, that's my thing.
you watch a good anime, it's kind of like that too. Like everyone's character kind of is almost like everyone has two sides to them. They have the side that's the fighter
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, and then they have that side at home that nobody really sees but
That
their
part.
partner or whatever,
That
or their
part.
close friends. So that's just
Yeah. But yeah, dude, it's been crazy. Like I said, I'm getting to where I'm dropping singles. I'm getting to where a lot of stuff is starting to take off, and I gotta just keep the momentum with it. And shout out to you, dude. I definitely appreciate being here because one thing is, everybody that I've met in this grind mode game alone, we don't know what an ego is. We're always trying to push each other, trying to let the other one know, hey, I'm hustling. What did you post today? What are you doing? And it was always those little things that you got to take into consideration. And bro, it really inspired me to watch y'all do what you do. Like I've literally seen you take care of a house, a family, and then you're like, I'm going to go do this radio interview, and then you're like, I got to go do this show, and then I got this another interview, and that was like, damn, he did this with his family. You know what I'm saying? And that let me know I can do it with my family.
Yeah, man. Thank you. And it's crazy. And I want to shout out to a very important person, Miss America, man, the first lady of hip hop, because without her, I promise you, I wouldn't be here. And having someone, by your side, whether it's a romantic partner, whether it's a friendship, whoever it is, a good energy by you is going to push you forward. So I want her to get all the credit for that, because without her, my mind would be somewhere else,
Yes,
But I appreciate you for real.
shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody that supported us. Supported me. Them couches I had to sleep on, them rides I had to get.
Yeah.
Studio time I had to bum.
The grind, the indie hustle, and yeah, man. Like you said earlier, shout out to Grind Mode for just kind of bringing us all together. It's almost like a Justice League of fucking rappers and shit, and we all coming together with different talents, different styles, and offer a common goal, which is to promote hip hop. Hip hop, literally, I've said this a few times on Lionheart Live Talk. It saved my life. It sounds probably corny to some people because they don't understand it, but it literally saved my life. I wouldn't be here without it. So I'm glad that it's been able to bring you to new heights in your life, and I'm glad that you're here, man. I'm really glad that you're here for this interview. I really am.
Dude, I'm glad to be here, and like I said, man, this is it's only up from here. The only thing is, just like that, Avon, we're the Avon ladies of the hip hop game. As much work as we put in, trying to get that pink car, bro. It's about how much work you put in, and it's definitely gonna come back. And the way y'all are grinding, watch it work. It's just a matter of time. That's the only thing. And for me, you know, when I first started this, I was always like, damn, I gotta outdo this bar. I gotta rap as fast as I can on this. But it was just like, drop your shit, drop what you know. And it was like the more I dropped what I knew, and I kept the mentality of what is it called? Law of attraction.
Yep. Yep. Like you told me earlier today, manifest what you want in your mind and it's gonna come to you. And I was like, I'm always thinking that, but earlier today when you said it to me, it really connected. And
My dude, I'm about it. And you know, on a cellular level, you are what you think. You know, you are what you eat. You are what you drink. And I'm still working on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting Dr. Pepper in me all the time. That's my thing, my vice. But at the same time, you know, I realize that a lot of shit sucks, bro. It really does. But I'm getting to the point to where I gotta realize how I react to it and what it's gonna cause later. And when I started getting to the point to where I said I'm gonna do something, every time I've said I'm gonna do something, I've always done it. I've always done it. And this now, I'm so focused in it to where it's gonna become dangerous. I've gotten to the point to where I know what I can do, I know what I want, but I gotta get to the point to where I'm not so scared to let it consume me enough to where it even kills me. Because I tell my kids, if you're gonna do something, do what you do. You know, if it's something to express yourself, this is you. You got to go in for it. And, you know, like you said, I'm an anime fanboy. I've seen them dudes power up so much to where they went overboard and blew themselves up. And I'm like, yo, he's gone. But at the same time, like, showed me you were about it. You know what I'm saying? You showed me you will go out in a blaze of glory just to make sure you stay real to who you are. And, you know, I'm working with Quentin right now. Just so everybody knows, I'm gonna have my dude on this EP coming out. Just so y'all know, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
And I just actually, while we were talking this morning, dude, I could never figure out what my album title. I couldn't figure it out, and I realized I'm actually gonna call I'm gonna call it Isolation. The whole album's just gonna be called Isolation, and I realized that
a powerful word, man. Powerful.
Oh yeah, because it can either isolation can make or break you. And you know, I got to the point to where a lot of stuff I had to say I could only get when I was away from everybody. I had to get to where I was away from judgment. I had to get to where I even had to isolate myself from myself. I had to be like, you know what, stop doubting. I had to have other people say, stop doubting. You know, like I would do these ciphers, bro. I would do these ciphers, and I promise you, I would hate my verse because one thing is I always freestyled everything. All of my verses I've never written. Quentin would sit in the booth with me for hours, and I mean, we would hit it and hit it and hit it until even if the bars were there, if I'm like, no, my emotion isn't in it, we would trash it. And it was like you had to feel every bit of what I was saying, because while I was struggling to do this, I want you to know that I was struggling. I had to struggle to get to the booth. You know what I'm saying? I had to struggle to make rent the next day because I had to take a day off to make it to the booth. You know, and I wanted every one of those freestyles to carry every bit of that before into that mic, and that's where I left it. But even in the booth, bro, where do you feel the most comfortable at? In isolation. When, you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. That's I never thought of it in that way, but that's what's up. That's incredible.
Yeah, and it was when you hit me up this morning and that fire hit me, dude. I told you, I kept blowing you up. I'm like, yo, I'm so honored to be on this. And it was like, I couldn't, and it hit me. I was trying to go back to sleep. I was actually up all night. And I was like, I'm going to call this album Isolation, because even then, outside of everything else, I noticed that the most purest thing that can grow is in a womb. It's in darkness. It's in isolation. And I put myself for this whole album in a straight open mentality. I'm not worried about who likes it. I'm not worried about who is trying to listen to it. I'm not worried about album sales. I just got to get it out, because there's a lot that I got to get out. And at the same time, if I put the formula together knowing what isolation can do, and I put that with my hard work and that talent, 1 + 1 is always going to equal 2. So I know whatever I do drop, not to even be cocky, but that confidence is there. You're going to feel me. And you know,
I feel you already, man. I haven't even heard the music, so I'm excited for it. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm stoked for it. Even when I did White Rose, you know, I didn't write any verses for it. And, you know, I went in and I completely went in with an isolated mentality. I was only focused on my daughter. and that was my youngest daughter. I was only concerned about what she thought about that album. I didn't. If you noticed, I hardly promoted it. But when I gave it to her, I gave it to her just for her. And Law of Attraction just let it get out there. But the fact that I know that that is my daughter's motivation song in the morning. I know that that is her song to go to sleep to. I know that's her song when she's feeling a certain way. And I know I see now, bro. I got my kids right now trying to figure out what's that song, Astronaut in the Ocean. My kids are trying to write their own raps by completely plagiarizing somebody else. But I want you to get the structure down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Get the
yeah.
structure down. Learn how to write. But
That's great. And you know what's awesome is they're following and like we talked about your legacy. Like they're saying, man, Dad is out here killing it. Let me come out here and put myself out there. And I think that's as artists, man, we all have to be really brave to put ourselves out there in the first place. So you're teaching them that bravery, that courage, and that I don't care what anyone thinks mentality. I'm gonna go for it, you know. So that's what's up, man.
that's the whole goal. I don't care if your music is garbage. You put everything you got into it, because I promise you, out of everybody here, bro, somebody's gonna love it. It's gonna touch somebody somewhere. It's gonna change something, but you gotta isolate everything. You're going to put everything where it needs to go and leave it there, and worry about that moment, that booth, and let it go.
And I just want to say, not to cut you over there, I want to say thank you to everyone. We actually had a lot of people join us tonight. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys for joining Knowsis, for joining myself.
We love
Verbo's
you.
Music Official. Y'all are both beasts. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the flowers. Man, we do this from the bottom of our heart and our soul. So all of y'all are just appreciated. But sorry, man, I didn't mean to cut. I just wanted to let everyone know, man, we're grateful for them being here.
Like, you just don't understand, because one thing is, a lot of, if anybody here, if y'all don't know, this was my first interview, because I wasn't isolated. You know what I'm saying? I was always worried about trying to make sure I went to the biggest radio station, had the biggest mic in my face, make sure I had my crew with me, and I was walking around on some Shade 45 shit with with just a 45 budget. You know what I'm saying? So I was dreaming a little bit too big for my pockets. But then when you messaged me this morning, I'm telling you, dude, it brought me back to isolation. It was like, and this is where it is, and I was thinking of trying how to always get to the top real quick. But like you said, at grind mode, dude, some of these cats were killing so much stuff so easily, so hard, to where it was like, how come you're not signed? But then at the end of the day, you'd realize they'd be like, yo, this is for the passion, not the fashion. And I'm like, okay, let me see if that makes sense. But then the fact that I would literally go to these ciphers and it's my turn, you already know how it is, bro. That's dope to us. That is our drug, because in that moment, bills don't matter, divorces don't matter, breakups don't matter. Nothing matters at that moment, because
you're isolated. It's you and the mic.
Isolated.
It's you and the mic, and you got to fight yourself out of that corner with the crowd looking at you, and you got to win them over. So I love it.
Yep. And
I love
how it is while we're filming. If you look at it on one side, YouTube looks amazing, but you saw how we had to do it, and it was one of those things where you got to keep that out of the back of your mind. You're like, does this look right? Lip syncing? Am I mouth breathing too loud? But you have to isolate and be like, fuck this, just like our saying. What's our saying? Fuck the rest.
Fuck the rest. You're right.
Yeah, and so that really hit me this morning, dude, when you messaged me, because I wasn't expecting to have somebody be like, yo, that song, I need to talk to you, at 10 o'clock tonight. That meant something to me, and I was just like, I need to do something, because if the fact that we push and push and push each other, we have no choice but to move up. Like, you trying to get a song with Dizzy, bro.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You seen that?
You know what I'm saying?
And no, man, I love your energy. You definitely, I want to find the right words. It's that line. This is what it's all about. Lionheart Live Talk for me is giving a platform to people, and with the small humble platform that I have, of being able to share with others that have that same spirit of a lion, to just fight, to be strong, and I see all those qualities in you. Real quick, I want to see if people watching, we have a few people on, if they want to ask you any questions before we sign off. I want to play one of the Grimo ciphers that your boy actually produced, Quentin. I was actually on it, and in the future, I'm definitely going to figure out a way to kind of be able to play different files, but because I'm live, I can't really access my email at all. So, but I'm definitely playing some of the audio of the cipher real quick. Excuse that. And then as we're doing that, we'll see if
Right
there's
on.
any questions, and then we'll call it a night, man. And again, man, I
Yeah.
appreciate you joining us. I'll play a little bit of the track. So this is
Bless
a grind mode cipher. This is from Jacksonville, Florida. It was an incredible cipher, man. I think they're in Cali. I don't know where they're, but it was
you
cool
on the
because we
secret
all filmed
session?
it in our own little area. Shout out Ryan Lingo for this one.
That boy nasty.
Shout out Quentin, man. Dope ass producer, man. Dope track.
That boy nasty.
My boy Executive. Yeah, man, that was just a snippet. Man. Check out the rest of that on Grind Mode Cypher, and check out more of Quentin's tracks on YouTube. And I'll be posting the link to a track that you sent me. You can also check that out there. And it sounds like y'all
we're working on that together.
What's up?
We're working on that together. That's
so that one's gonna have my boy Knowsis on there, and I'm excited to really hear it. It sounds like you have a lot to fight for, and I love stories like that. As my stories, we have 1,001 reasons to make it. We have 1,001 reasons to fail, but you know what? We're gonna keep pushing for it.
That's right.
I see Champagne Mommy has been following us. We appreciate you. She asked, "Who's your dream artist to work with?" And that's an incredible question. So thank you for joining and thank you for that. And also my wife, Miss America, what's all your social media? So let's answer that first one. Who's your dream artist? Who would you want to work with if you could? Out of anyone, don't even have to be just hip hop. Any artist.
I promise you, bro, this is gonna be so off key, but it would have to be either Whitney Houston or Dolly Parton.
Okay, hey, that's what's up. I fuck with that, and then I did not expect that one. So
yeah,
and why is that?
Like, I love Whitney, bro. Like that.
Okay.
But Dolly, yeah, I grew up listening to Dolly too. But at the same time, boy, if I drop like some nasty shit over a Darlene track,
it'll be over for everybody.
Boy,
we better have MCs hiding under the beds. That one.
Yeah, no eulogy, boy. I'd put that straight in the ground. Now, like that would, but I would love, if, rest in peace. Yeah. But boy, if I could have worked with Whitney,
man, and I'm telling you, man, that I could totally see that. She got a lot of passion in her voice.
Oh yeah,
a lot of pain in her music. So, you're a passionate dude. I could totally see that working out, man.
Boy, if I had Whitney on White Rose.
Hell yeah. No, man. Honestly, man, it's a great track. I really love it. I'm about to smoke to it after this interview. You already know that. So run up the numbers for you. So real quick, man, before we sign off for the night, where can people find you? Mention your social media. I'm going to make sure I link them when I post this on YouTube, but for those watching us now.
Oh, sample. I got you on that. I'm actually thinking about that. We might do a sample of Whitney. But you can
hell yeah. Good call.
Yeah. Samples. I forgot about that. Like, we live off samples. But you can find me on, Instagram, Knowsis369. My Facebook page is Knowsis, and my personal page is just kind of personal, but I still post a little updates here and there. But you can also find me under J Jones.
Okay.
And on Facebook. But I'm gonna bring my TikTok back, and then I'm gonna try to actually get some other streaming platforms up. I got off of DistroKid, so
okay.
I'm gonna move around and try to get on a different platform. But mainly for this year, you can find me on YouTube under Knowsis. But mainly you'll always find me somewhere under Grind Mode. You know what I'm saying? Because
hey, GME FTR, man.
all day, fuck the rest. And the thing is, I kind of dedicated myself to doing as many ciphers as I can this year, just to keep, relevant in the circuit. But be on the lookout. I'm gonna drop Isolation. I'm gonna drop it on June 21st.
Okay, for sure.
that's gonna be, just a little EP that I'm gonna drop just to let everybody know that I'm still here and I'm going in for it, dude. Like I said, I'm gonna get you on here. I got a lot of killer artists that I'm gonna bring on here, and of course Quentin is gonna be producing this. So this is just gonna be. I'm gonna make this as just raw as I can, and we're gonna talk, and I want you to bring that fire, boy, because one thing is, I'm you one of my. I'm somebody's favorite rapper. You my favorite rapper. You one of my favorite
Hey, man.
rappers. So
Appreciate you.
it's one of
That's
those.
love, man.
Yeah, it's one of those things, dude, to where it's like I got to get that energy from you.
Oh yeah, you already know, man. It's gonna be fun, and I love pushing myself. I think you went off on that cipher, and if I would have known you were gonna go that hard, I probably would have pushed. That's how it is. Like now, I'm gonna really come for you, and that's the energy for of an MC. At the end of the day, that we just gonna make some dope hip hop music. So I love it.
Thanks.
Man, thank you. It was a pleasure to have you on. I want you to know that, and this is the first of many interviews that we'll be doing together. So, yeah, man, it's been a great Lionheart Live Talk. I appreciate everyone that joined us. Is there any last statements you wanna put out? And if not, man, then we'll just call it a night.
Man, shout out to Nelly Roof. Shout out to my boy Choo Choo. I love y'all. I got y'all, and that's my grandma and my brother. Of course, shout out to my babies. That's what I do it for. Hey, mama. Everybody that's been there for me. And you know what? I promise you, dude, I'm even going to shout out the people that weren't there because, those nights that I didn't get that help, it moved me somewhere different. So I wouldn't be
Part of
here.
the journey. It's all part of the journey, for real.
It's all part of it, man. And, oh, by the way, was that Verbose? They said if we make Austin, man, I don't know if you got on for South by, but I didn't get to make it this time.
Yeah, no, not this time. There's some things that I'm working on, and I'm going to do a few events out here actually in March. But I will be doing the same as you. I'm going to try to be going to as many ciphers as I can this year, just to kind of keep in the loop with everyone. And it's just a fun time. Honestly, it's for me. It's like you said, though, those moments that we got the mic in our hand, or we're recording that video and we're spitting our verse. It's like a Super Saiyan moment, bro. It's a transformation. I love it.
Nobody will ever know it but us. But man, Verbose, keep an eye out for us, dude. I promise you. If I gotta fly out to my dude Dre, we're making a video.
Oh yeah, we're gonna make it happen, bro. We're gonna make it happen.
Yeah. And I got to, because if I put it in the universe, I gotta follow through with it. So I promise you, it's gonna happen. Just know that we're working on dad schedules, and and we're gonna get it. But again, my dude, I can't thank you enough for having me. That's my thing. Like, just the fact of getting to chat with you for a bit, because I know how busy you are.
Thank you, man. It's a pleasure of mine. So no worries, man. It's we both are. I told you earlier, we're both young legends in the making, and I hold you in a high regard. I know you hold me there. So man, it's always 100 with me, man.
That's it, dude. And you've always kept it 100. Thank y'all for having me. Make sure you follow me on here on Instagram, or hop on Facebook.
Follow my boy. Yeah, and we'll talk soon.
Oh yeah, because this year I got to go harder. I made a silent commitment, and I got to follow through with it. So I'm gonna hold you to yours. You hold me to mine. Accountability. After that, we ain't got no choice but to move up. So
facts. All right, man. Well, everybody have a good night. We appreciate y'all joining us, and join y'all next week. Thank you.
Be good. Thanks, dude.